Hey guys, it is TJ Anthony here, and you are watching 21 Next. So, right now, we're staying on top of a story that's developing out of Franklin County where a house fire was started this morning in Franklin County. We do know it, at least 8 people are displaced from it. These are some pictures overnight from when those flames started erupting, but just take a look at that aftermath right there. You see firefighters right there on the roof of the home trying to survey the damage there, but a lot of that roof portion really just the skeleton remains of that top part of the home. And like I said, it did end up displacing individuals. But here's the thing. So the fire started because of a device that a lot of people have throughout central Pennsylvania. That is an electric bike. You probably have seen them on the roadways throughout different boroughs, counties, townships. That is a picture of that charred bike that officials say started the fire there. And we know that over 3 dozen agencies actually responded to that scene just to get those flames under control. And thankfully, they were able to control that fire within about 30 minutes. So CBS 21's Grace Rufalo has been at the scene all day, talking to people out there, talking to officials, getting us exclusive pictures and images and videos. Grace, what are people telling you about this fire?
Yeah, they're saying it was very scary for them that they woke up early in the morning and they saw flames and smoke just pouring out of the top half, because we do know that the fire started on the second floor. And like TJ had said, it was because of an electric bike. The Chambersburg Fire Company confirmed this just a few hours ago. So the fire began on the second floor, quickly spread to the attic. That was where most of the damage was. But we learned, according to the landlord, that there was also water damage and smoke damage on the first floor as well.
Wow, yeah. So it did end up displacing, a couple people there as well. But that's just how intense those flames were. So miraculously, firefighters were able to get that under control. It didn't really take them that long. And that is some video inside the home that shows you, just how gruesome those flames can be. So Grace, officials told us, specifically it started because of an e-bike, but even more specific, they're saying it started because of an ion battery. What more did they tell you about that? And did they say, was it overcharging? What was it about that battery that ended up igniting into flames, according to officials?
Yeah, there's definitely some concerns that come with those batteries. So they suggest that you only let it charge to 100%. And then once it's at 100%, you should unplug it. Otherwise, it can overheat and it can cause fires like the one that we're talking about today. So it's not advised to charge them overnight and leave them unattended, because it can lead to them overheating and it can cause some severe damage, like the house that we're talking about. The company also even estimated that damages from this fire could add up to $250,000. So we're talking about $250,000 worth of damage, all from one e-bike being left unattended while it was charging.
Yeah, and Grace, I mean, this is not the first time that an e-bike has caused a fire like this throughout the country. We've seen, what a lithium ion battery can do. What else did officials tell you about that? Did you get a chance to speak with anyone who lived inside the home? What else did they tell you as well?
So we didn't get to speak to anyone who lived inside the home. They are working with the Red Cross right now to offer them the immediate support and relief that they need. But we spoke to neighbors who had said, they've never seen anything like this on the street. It's a quiet street. It really just came as a shock. But yeah, it was a lot for people to process. They said dozens of fire crews were on the scene, multiple fire trucks coming and going. They thankfully had the fire under control within 20 minutes, and they cleared up the scene around 9:30. The fire was first reported around 6:30. But yeah.
Yeah, thankfully, they were able to get it under control, and then there were no casualties, right?
Right. Nobody was hurt. People evacuated very quickly. The fire company tells us that everyone was already evacuated out of the house by the time fire crews even got to the scene. So thankfully, no one's hurt, but you can see the apartment clearly has suffered some extensive damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and show you just that damage full as well. And then while we're showing you that video, I want to go ahead and tell you some tips that the Red Cross is actually telling us in order, to kind of prevent kind of lithium ion battery fires like the one officials say started and ended up damaging that house there. So they're saying, look for safety certification mark from a national recognized testing lab on the packaging of the product. And Grace also mentioned this, only use the charger that came with your device or a charger approved by the manufacturer. never use aftermarket generic batteries or chargers, and don't overcharge as well. They also recommend not leaving devices charging unattended. And they also said avoid overloading electrical outlets as well. Plug directly into a wall. They also said, like I said again, don't overcharge it. Once it's at 100%, go ahead and unplug it there. And also don't put it in the trash or regular recycling bin. Recycle batteries responsibly. So we have a full list of some more tips that the Red Cross gave out as to how you can avoid something like this from happening. Because Grace, this is not the first time we've seen something like this.
Absolutely. And even just speaking to the landlord today, she ended our interview by looking into the camera and pleading, like, please do not plug electric bikes in overnight, and especially not in the same socket. So they're hoping that this can just be a cautionary tale for people moving forward.
Absolutely. Grace Rufalo, thank you so much. We'll see you later tonight, coming up in about 40 minutes at 5:30, and 6 o'clock. And thank you for tuning into 21 Next. Until next time, I'm TJ Anthony. Have a great day.